Hi, good afternoon, my dear students. Once again, welcome back to the second episode of Geography of 10th Standard. And I hope all are fine and take care. So let us go to the chapter. Okay, and in first episode we were discussing about the introduction about the chapter, the second chapter, India physiography. Okay, so the physiography means that the scientific and systematic study of the geographical features, that is known as physiography. Okay, so in the world as well as in our country, we can see many geographical features such as mountains, plains, valleys, hills, plateaus, deserts, coastal regions. Okay, and islands, forest, many geographical features we can see on the surface of the earth. Okay, so in this chapter today we are going to discuss to learn more about what is the physiography of India. Mainly India is divided into 6 geographical features. Mainly India is divided into 6 geographical features such as the great mountains, the great northern mountains, the northern plains, the western deserts, the peninsular plateaus, the coastal plains, and the islands. Okay, so we know that the northern mountains extends from Jammu and Kashmir to uh, eastern states up to Assam. Okay, so mainly we can see the northern mountains in Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Assam, like that areas. Okay, and some of the part of Mount Everest is also located in the Nepal as well as in Tibet region. Okay, and now let us discuss about the northern mountains. Okay, so we know that mountains are the very high places from the sea level. Okay, it is a elevated place from the surface. Okay, and we are calculating the surface as a sea level. From the sea level we are measuring the height of a place. Okay, and mountains are also acting as a big walls. Okay, acting as a big walls. We can say it is a natural frontier or not natural boundary created by the nature itself. Okay, so it also protect us when we discuss about the India. The northern mountains, the Himalayas protect India from the cold winds which is being blown, which is being coming from the Central Asia and from the Chinese side. Okay, Central Asia as well as from the China. Okay, and moreover, it also protect our country from the invasion or conquering of the neighboring countries. Okay, at present as well as in the history also, in the past also, our country was being protected by the presence of Himalaya, the great Himalayan mountains. Okay, and because of these huge mountains, it is very difficult to attack India, and the climate is also very severe. It is very cold, and in during winter season the climate will be extremely cold. It will go to minus degree, minus 40, like that. It will go in during during winter season. Okay, so that is about the northern mountains. And northern mountains are divided into 3 categories. First one is known as the greater Himalayas, and the middle one is known as the middle Himalayas or Himachal, and the lower section is known as Shivalik or the lower section. Okay, so northern mountains, the middle Himalayas, and the lower Himalayas. According to the height of the mountains, we are classifying the northern mountains into 3 segments, 3 parts. That is northern mountains, the middle mountains, or we call it as Himachal, and the least is known as Shivalik, or the lesser Himalayas. Okay. So we know that the height of Mount Everest, Mount Everest is the highest mountain peak in the world. Its height is 8,848 meters. Okay, approximately we can say we can round into 9 kilometers. 8,848 meters we can round into 9 kilometers. Okay, so even we can dip if we take Mount Everest and dip in the Pacific Ocean, it will sink. So the depth of Pacific Ocean is also more than 9 kilometers. Okay, and moreover, this northern mountains is the birthplace of many rivers. Okay, and rivers are rivers made the foundation for the settled life. When we study the history, human beings settled nearby the banks of the rivers. The main reason was they want water for life, for cultivation of crops. Farmers want water. Okay, so the presence of water is available, and the land should be fertile. Okay, water is present, soil is fertile. Okay, and the living area or the atmosphere, the surrounding environment should be calm and quiet and comfortable. So northern mountains gives birth to many rivers, and when it flows down into the northern plains, many people are settled in that region. Okay, and the northern rivers such as Brahmaputra, Ganga, Yamuna. Okay, and these all rivers has their own tributaries. Okay, even it flows down to the southern part of India through the central part of India. Okay, and during this course, it is also giving a lot of water to the needy people, those who are living in the banks of the rivers. Okay, especially the farmers. And in some occasion, during the winter season or in the monsoon season, sometimes the water will overflow and it can create lot of mishap or damage to the humanity due to flood. Okay, many people may die, and it can also destroy the cultivation of crops. So positive as well as negative sides are also there for rivers. Okay, and northern rivers are perennial rivers. The rivers which are flowing, originating from the Himalayas, are perennial rivers. Okay, during the winter season, the waters are just like glaciers. It is icy water. Okay, lot of pieces of ices we can see in the rivers, and these ices will float on the water. And during summer season, because of the presence of sunlight, it will melt. The glaciers will melt, and again it will start overflowing. Okay, that is the reason we call northern mountains as northern rivers. Northern rivers are known as perennial rivers, means evergreen. Okay, ever flowing. Okay, it will not dry up. Perennial rivers means it won't dry up. So it is also one of the best good example or positive side of, or the benefit of northern mountains to we the people of India. Okay, so that is about northern mountains. And let us go to northern plains. Okay, as I told, the northern rivers, which is originating from the northern mountains, northern Himalayas, it flows through the northern plain region of India, especially Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, okay, and Punjab, all these. Okay, so these regions are very plain regions, and many farmers are settled in those regions. They are cultivating wheat, rice, many other crops. Okay, including sugar cane. Okay, so these regions are very fertile because of the presence of Brahmaputra, Ganga, Yamuna. This like many rivers, and again these rivers they have their own tributaries. Okay, divisions of many rivers are there. Okay, from the main rivers. Okay, Brahmaputra, Ganga, Yamuna, Satluj. These are the rivers originating from the northern mountains. Okay, and these northern plains are very fertile, and India's majority crops are being produced in this region. Okay, and even our Delhi, the national capital of India, is also located in the northern plain region. Okay, and you know the Taj Mahal, one of the seven wonders of the world, it is also located nearby the river Yamuna. Okay, nearby the river Yamuna, Taj Mahal is being located. Okay, and because of the surrounding or environmental beauty, Taj Mahal has getting its more beauty. Okay, and I hope you understood about northern mountains and northern plains, and coming sections we will be discussing about the remaining things: peninsula, coastal plains, the great Indian desert and the islands. Okay, till then take care, have a nice day, thank you.